Now I will talk about shock. Shock is also considered a complex response to a trauma, to an event, because there are several mechanisms that are involved. It it is. I will start energetically. It is a state where our energy is pulled in, and externally we are like disconnected. So we can experience freeze from the outside, even physical freeze, but inside our emotions and our thoughts are in complete turmoil. So inside we go into fight or flight, and we at the same time want to do something, but we can't because we are in freeze and we are in panic inside. But we also want to avoid. We want to avoid the situation. We want to avoid the emotions. We want like overthinking. Like thoughts can come and go like randomly without a sequence, right? Well, without a train of thought that you think it's logical. So it's a lot of overthinking. It's a full panic state inside and freeze outside. So we cannot react. We cannot. I'm sorry. We cannot take action, which also is good because taking action from a state like that it will not be the best thing, right? But I mean, taking action can be asking for help, but you know what I mean. So in this dynamic, what it's happening is we are experiencing an overwhelming of input. Either it is emotions, thoughts, or the information that we receive, the event, what happened, and we go into shock because our system shuts down to protect us. We have uh, has a mental structure. We have certain things that we need to be there so we can create this personality and that we interact with the world. And we have definitions, we have beliefs, we have certain things and aspects in people and ideas that create our identity. Okay, it's like the base, the legs of a table, okay, to be stable. When those are shaken, and using this analogy, maybe not just one leg, but many are shaken, we become unstable. And to protect this, the system shuts down. It's like, no, here you don't mess, you don't, move anything else. Um, because if the information that it's coming, like I said, it's so overwhelming that it means that the information that we have, the identity that we have, um, of ourselves, or the idea that we have about what life is, our definitions are attacked to the root. This causes immensely, like a big instability. And to protect us from that instability, this is what I said, we shut down. And when we shut down, we disconnect from the world. So it is common to see apathy, and it is also associated with states of lunacy, and of course dissociation, because we are disconnecting from the world and uh, the surroundings, so we don't take more input, more information, because we still didn't absorb, our brain didn't assimilate and process information, and even our emotional body didn't have the ability to navigate through the emotions and release them, okay? Because emotions is energy emotion, but we have information that navigates through emotions. Emotions is information also, okay? So in this process of becoming aware of what is happening, and at the same time dissociated from what is happening, we can experience a big wave of shock that we are just like this, right? But it doesn't mean that information it's not coming. Like you can be with someone in shock and hear the question like, do you want to eat? And then the person goes like, yes, I want to eat, or I would like this. And maybe it doesn't speak, doesn't talk, but the senses are still on. So, or maybe you can answer and then say, do you want to eat? Yes. It's not like, oh yes, I want, I'm hungry, can we have this? It's not like interactive, it's not like dynamic, it's very mechanical, it's very to the minimum. So this is a state of shock. And why I said this can be related with some type of lunacy, because the intensity that goes inside of the regulated, nervous system, the turmoil of thoughts and emotions, um, can generate a detachment from reality. And if we are not in touch with reality, with our daily lives, with the people that we are talking with, the tasks that we need to perform, we are not functional. Right? If you are in shock and go to work, if you need to take care of your children and you are in full shock, if you need to, God forbid, to drive or do something in shock, it will be, dangerous, even though the automatic mechanisms can kick in and you are in shock and you are like doing everything mechanical and you can still do it, but it's not, you are not aware, right? So this can be related with states of lunacy. And of course, like I said, dissociation, because you need to protect to dissociate from reality. Okay, so I think I already have enough turns to this. I will share how I deactivate the shock states in me. I had a few, and for the most of them, I just noticed that I was in shock afterwards. So when I was entering shock, I was not even aware that that was shock state. Curious, huh? There was one of them that I truly noticed, because maybe because I had the idea and then I was seeing myself like dissociating, but I was still being the observed and the observer. So I could see what's going on and observe the thoughts coming back and forward and up and down and the emotions, and I could still hold the awareness and interact with the world from this perspective while all of this was happening here, and I also could pay attention to this part. Okay, so what do is to be still. It's similar to what I said in freeze, but here it's like a deep, deep, deep state of presence, of stillness, to the point that is intentional, not moving, like this. You lay down and you try to like if you had a laser around you or something that detects the minimum movement and you can't for some reason, it's and like super still, and the breathing to be the shallowest that you can have. So it's like, okay, I cannot stop breathing, so what is the minimum movement, the minimum in and out, the slowest in and out, so exhale and inhale and exhale of breath that I can take right now. And you will be there for as long as it's necessary. And as I spoke in freeze, this will come in layers. Like you can imagine this, it's an onion layer, you go in and go in and go in. For each layer you will say, well, how I know it's a layer, you will feel it in your emotions, in your body. But if there is a more extreme degree, you will have, and you are disconnected from that sensation, from those feelings, you will have body reactions, you will have energy shifts, energy releases, and those can be, like I said already before, it can be a shaking, a thickening and warming up, a cooling up, itching, a yawning, sneezing, many, I don't know, a sigh, like a sigh out, there are there are many that can happen. Okay, there is a body reaction. I'm so, yeah, I also decompressed a bit here. And it's also therapeutic for me, apprentice here, to share what I learned, to share what I went through and how I overcome it, and then I'll be able to share it with other people. So this is also good for me, and I just have a shift myself. and so I do this, and then I move forward to the next layer, and then to the next layer, until I deepen and deepen and deepen and deepen. Energetical, even if you don't perceive it, you have an opening of your solar plexus, of your heart and your crown, because the shutdown will cause this, like mostly these chakras to completely stagnate, to be stagnant, and then you have an open up. You can feel like an open up in your chest, like I mean already in the deepest layers, in the last layers, an open up in the chest, a release in the stomach. You may start to feel hungry again when you were not feeling hungry, or again if you were anxious eating, that node in the stomach can dissolve and your thoughts start flowing again, but you feel peaceful, not thinking in overthinking, in panic mode, but like clarity in your head. But the overall sensation that you will feel, it's a coming back to yourself. It's like, oh, I'm me again, I can feel myself again. You will feel again, I'm home, I'm in the body, I'm me. I cannot describe that. You will feel again this I'm me, because it was this sense of self identity, right? Sense of self that was attacked, and you were put into freezing state, so you could not like ruin that. So when you do this and you tell to your brain, you okay, now you don't need to be in alert mode so much, and then start to relax, release the emotions, normalize the thoughts, and so on, you will have again this, oh, okay, I can come back to myself. I don't have to be in tension, in alert mode. Okay, so this is the main thing. And you, because of that, you will experience some other things that, because of the frozen aspect of you, were not able to let the turmoil part of you to be processed and normalized and stabilized. This all will come, and it's normal. So you can have like flashes of emotions, or flashes of past memories. This all can come up at once or gradually, depend of your coping mechanisms and the state of your mental health in that moment. And or if you already had those to some degree, they can intensify. Okay, because this is what your defense mechanism was preventing, is this intensity, is this overwhelming. And now that you feel safe, it means that you can open the gates, you can open the doorways for all of that to come. And again, it can be a bit overwhelming, an avalanche, but it will not be an overwhelming that puts in your sense of identity into check. That's why now the mechanisms are lowering. Okay, this can be accompanied with intense crying, wanting to scream, vomiting, or even sweating a lot, because it is huge release. And others, I'm just mentioning this because it was common for me, but I know there are more, but this I'm sharing from my experience. Okay, as a final note, I always leave this in my videos because it's actually one of the things that helps me the most, is that you be gentle with yourself. You bring softness into the equation. When you are there and you are sitting with yourself, whatever it is, don't judge it, allow it, and treat yourself like you will treat someone that you truly love. And don't rush, don't go with this needs to be done, or I'm doing this wrong. There is no wrong way to do this. But bring the softness. It's like, whatever I get today, how much I heal today, whatever I achieve today, I'm doing my best. And someone in me is getting emotional. I'm sorry, people. I have the idea, so this happens. So I'm doing my best, and the best that I can do is good enough. I not expected this. What is happening? Oh my! It's Marie. I'm sorry. So by being soft inside, it's like how I can soften today. If you want to leave shock, you can say this. How can I be soft and soften inside? You know, soften the heart, soften the breath, soften my ideas about myself, about what happened to me, about others, about the world. How I can be softer today. And this will help you to connect again with that sensation also of worthiness and self-love, and will allow you to be in touch with the reality again in a way that it's safe to you, and by, or at least safer, because safe, it's can be a long journey, right? A long marathon to get there for us who experience severe trauma. So one step closer, it's already good enough. So I will say safer. So by bringing softness, you can get to a space where you feel safer. You feel safer in your body, and you feel safer in the world. And that starts by validating your emotions and being present with yourself. So this is my message for today. I hope it helps.